In this episode, this cow has a heel ulcer that I'm not going to touch. We take a trip down memory lane, coerce Will into helping us, and wonder what on earth this wire is for, before discovering the world's best spray bottle. This is the Hoof GP. This is the Hoof GP, as you know me now, towing my beautiful KVK with my trusty Ford Ranger through the beautiful southwest Scottish landscape. I'm truly lucky to have the setup that I have now and to be able to work with such a state-of-the-art machine. But trust me when I say that this definitely was not always the case. Way back when, I started with this crush. A crush I begged, stole and borrowed to be able to build with my own two hands. This is the crush I started out with. I made it in the shed all by myself, and yes, it definitely had its failures and its faults, but it got me through the first few years. This crush literally fed my family, but it was hard work, and the work was hard on it, which is why eventually this is where it ended up, on the scrap heap. Enter the journey of crush number 2. With the money I'd saved up and money I'd borrowed from my mother, I began building a hydraulic crush, which literally cost me blood, sweat, tears, and sometimes a bit of a fright.
No bang, this is the one that matters.
But despite a few dodgy electrical problems, I did get that crush finished, and when I was able to hook it onto my pickup for the first time, it was a hugely proud moment. This is the very first cow I trimmed through that crush. This crush completely changed my business. I could do more cows, I could provide a more professional service, but at the end of the day, I'd built it by hand and designed it myself, so it was still uncomfortable to use. Time really did treat this crush badly. We put all sorts of cows and huge bulls through it until one day somebody crashed right into the side of it, and this is how she ended up, with no wheels and being sold on to a farmer. Enter the Whopper. This was my first non-built-by-me crush. John, the guy who owned it, was a friend and allowed me to pay it up in installments, something I'll always be indebted to him for. To me, this was absolutely the pinnacle. I could provide a much better service, the cows were safer, it was more comfortable for me to use. Life was getting better and better with the Whopper. Craigie Boy and I built a strong round and modified the crush to suit our own needs. This crush was 13 years old when I got it. I had it for 3 years, and all throughout that 3 years, it was getting worse and worse, slower and slower, more and more things were breaking, and I wasn't able to have the downtime to be able to fix it and give it the time it really needed. Then with the help of the herd and YouTube, this amazing community of people, Craigie Boy and I were able to go and pick up our very first brand new crush, the Appleton Steel. This was the creme de la creme of crushes, and this was the first cow I ever trimmed in it.
First cow in the crush!
I couldn't believe what we had achieved together as a community. I'm talking about you guys watching this video, the herd, this amazing community who got behind me and helped me to buy this Appleton Steel 3 years ago. We had some incredible times with this crush, Craigie Boy and I against the world. The last few years with Craig, myself and the Appleton Steel have been truly amazing. We have some incredible memories, but then it all came to a crashing halt when one day Craig rolled the crush. These things happen, and all that mattered was that Craig and Kevin were okay. All that was truly harmed was the roof, which is why
today we're passing over the Appleton Steel, the baton that is the beautiful Black Beauty, the Dark Knight as we first called the crush when we first got it a couple of years ago. Today we're giving the Appleton Steel to Will Farrant. Here's a little bit more about Will and how hopefully the crush will make a difference to him.
My name's Will, I'm 24 and I live just outside Herefordshire. At the moment I was working for somebody else, trimming for them, and when I wasn't trimming I was working on farm. I had a few customers, like 7 or 8 customers regular every month, which is good, but obviously I need to push it a lot more now and just keep going and going and going and just build a nice roundup, nice and local to me. I do have a crush, but we're only hiring it off the vet company, which is great. It's got me going, you know, where I am today. Trimming cows is what I want to be doing, but ultimately it's too slow, it's old, like it's getting me through the day, but it's a struggle. and we don't actually own it. It's being hired at £1.50 a cow. It takes away like the daily earnings, and to start a business is not ideal really, is it? Yeah, the finance one, for me, hard work. I don't have any money behind me. Like, I've been in a terrible situation before with money and like had a bad past with what's happened like in my family. That sort of situation has not been able to make me receive raw finance. I was able to get finance. I had really good credit score and everything. When I was really young, I used to be really good with my money. And then I went to work away, left home, worked away. And since then it just went downhill and I got into problems, and I just never was able to build myself back up, and I just constantly struggled no matter how much I worked, and I just couldn't get anything. Where before I was offered money from banks all the time, like, you know, I can get loans out. I got loans to help my mum out and when stuff was difficult. But now, yeah, I couldn't get anything out. Just to think, I wanted to get some money out just to try and start a business, you know, and push somewhere. I know I can make money. Like, the inability to actually get money to make money is hard. My plan for the future is to obviously keep the crush, because in the near future, there's not going to be a chance for me to be able to afford something like that. So having that being like, you know, given to me, it helps me not being able to finance for a crush every month. You know, my money is my money now. All I've got to do is pay for fuel and stock, all my supplies. So that's what I want to do, is build up around my own business and just keep pushing and see how far I can go with it, basically.
No, get that! He wouldn't have been getting the crush if I'd realised he was wearing that. What is this doing here?
Better than a Mercedes. 100% all day long.
Oh, I cannot believe you wearing. If Ashley had seen you wearing that.
Yeah. I said to Feddy, she was like, "You really gonna wear that?" I was like, "Yep." After I heard last night with Total War.
Mrs. HVP better not be watching this video. Lift this up. Lift this up. Stop. So obviously today is as much about teaching Will how to use the crush safely and set it up and everything as it is about trimming the cow's feet, although the cow's feet still come first. Sorry, Will.
The Appleton Steel takes a lot of getting used to, which is why multiple run-throughs with Will really help.
Now you've got to put the sort gate on the ground. So Will actually came round to my house last night, and he's already seen the crush, and we already ran through it once. I showed him how to do it, and he did it all by himself. It's weird, although it's just strange. You just feel a certain sense of responsibility that you don't want anything to go wrong for somebody, especially when a machine is so heavy. Like, I genuinely worry that if he hurt himself, then I would feel really bad. So crushes don't fit in everywhere, and sometimes you just got to make do with the farmer's friend, baler twine. That is a bunch of calves in the background you can hear, by the way. They sound like sheep almost. It's because they're getting fed and they're shouting because they want fed before their friend gets fed, which is pretty much what I do at home. Right, when Will was round last night, I didn't show him what I did. Put a wee heater in. Fill that up. You got every kind of block I could think of. Magical paste, salicylic acid, a new one of them. I just put our gloves in because they're awesome and you'll want to buy them afterwards. They are spare rollers for the back. I'll explain that in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you've got hoof testers, but there's a pair. More blocks, more nozzles, gas, a new glue dispenser. Cool.
Thank you.
So we won't confuse it with using the remote control today, okay?
Okay.
Kev and Craig are getting cows in, so we better get moving.
Look out, here she comes. Woman that I love.
I'm nicking his gloves already. Right, bend over.
Yeah. I can't tell her how I feel.
I'm just going to let him get on with it and see how it goes.
Someone that makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these walls, or at least I try to be. 'Cause I hope that I'm not showing how I feel for her, but she won't feel the same for me.
Do you think you can actually trim a cow's foot? Well, we're going to find out.
Give it a go.
Right, on you go.
I am of course joking. I like to do my research before letting anyone loose on the cows that I'm in charge of. These farmers trust me with their livelihoods and with the health and well-being of their cows, so I need to make absolute certain that whoever is trimming their feet is absolutely capable of doing so. And as you can see, Will is more than capable. Although I know he is very capable and accomplished, it doesn't stop me from being curious and casting my eye over pretty much every move that he makes for the first few cows. How uncomfortable must that have been?
It's horrible trimming in front of other people. Isn't it?
I hate it.
It's absolutely horrible. So just slam them both down at the same time.
But I guess that it will pass. Yeah, I can't be the only one who got lost inside the blue of those eyes. I've gotta let her go. I know it won't be easy. I wanna hold her close, but I have to try as hard as I can, 'cause she'll never be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt before, and she will never know that.
Lift the back feet. Well, we usually walk around in a circle actually, I think, did we? I can't remember. It's that long since we used it, I can't remember how we used it. But yeah, so we would just have all 4 feet up usually because we worked in a pair.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're fine to do that. Sometimes if you left both back feet then put them back down, the front feet will be sitting back here.
Okay.
So all you do is you drop the belly band a little bit and she'll stand up again.
Okay.
So she's not down by any means, like she's not like lying down at all. It's just you can't get this in to get her front feet. So like I say, you just drop the belly band, she'll stand up, and then yeah. Cool, you want to get the back feet?
I'm clearly not teaching Will how to hoof trim. I'm teaching him the ropes of this crush, its nuances, and one of the hardest things to do when you're teaching anybody anything is to let go, to let them get on and make any mistakes on their own accord, because that is the best way to learn.
Here's the lady behind the man. This is Fen. Fen is responsible for Will basically winning the crush, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I'd like to think so.
Fen convinced Will to put his video in, and I'm really glad she did. Is this the first time you've been out trimming? No,
No,
can't be.
no, I have been a few times before, but I'm more of like the little tippy tappy iPad.
Ah, okay. She puts the numbers in.
Teamwork truly does make the dream work. It's fantastic seeing Will trim away on this crush. Being able to help anyone when you can is something that is seriously important to me. I really do believe in karma of some description, and if I can help anybody do anything, then I'll always try my best to do that. Working on farms like this, with crushes as capable as this, is a fast-paced environment, and you need to be careful not to put a foot wrong, or it could go south very quickly.
How weird's this? Look, it's got a thing attached.
I changed about 2 or 3 years ago to cordless grinders, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. Having a cord dangling around my feet when cows' legs can be thrashing was never something I found much fun, and the day a cow actually caught the wire and there was a huge flash was D-Day for me.
I absolutely hate those discs. Rotoclip for the win. So I use a Rotoclip disc. Will uses Trimtech, which is what we used to use, and Rotoclip are far superior.
This farm was the ideal place for Will to come along and learn the ropes. They only have around 20 or so cows per visit, and their feet are really well kept, meaning that although we have to spend time talking about the crush, we can still get through the cows fairly quickly. Will's found a cow that has previously been treated for some sort of lesion. It's time to test his mettle and see what he's really made of.
That just adds to the pressure, well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but just seeing what Graham's handiwork's like.
That wasn't me that trimmed that, by the way. You're right though, it was Graham. It's just a different Graham. This is good for the pressure. She has a heel ulcer, a problem brought about by too much weight being on one position of her foot. In this case, obviously the heel. As a hoof trimmer, if you're using anybody else's tools and not your own, it feels completely foreign to you. So actually, I really feel for Will in this situation. It's amazing how much they quieten down if you just give them a bit of comfort. Although it's not feasible to do on every single cow, obviously. So the guy who works here is also called Graham, fantastic name I know, and this cow must have gone lame in the last 4 weeks because he's already attended to her, which is fantastic because it makes our job a million times easier, or at least in this case it makes Will's job easier. You see, she's been carrying too much weight on this part of her foot, and Graham's applied a block using the wrong coloured glue, but never mind. And Will just taking these edges out, or thinning the margins as they say, really helps for the hoof horn to grow in properly again. But it's a fairly open wound, so we're going to wrap it up with iodine and salicylic to get it to heal properly. Literally the perfect trim. See, it sprays both ways. Yeah. Out. I We trimmed around 35 or 36,000 cows to this Appleton, and it has barely ever missed a beat. It really has been awesome for us. It's in pretty much perfect condition, minus the roof obviously, and I personally couldn't have asked for a better crush to be my first ever new one. She's just got a little crack on the axial wall, by the way. It's not all that bad, otherwise I would show you. I will show you anyway, look. A little bit of iodine and a block, and that one is pretty much fixed. That's an easy one, a really easy one. Right, let's get her out of the crush, get this thing packed up, and get Will on his way. I'm just talking about the comments on YouTube and how people say nice things about Craig all the time. It's so weird. It's the strangest phenomenon ever, isn't it?
Nope.
No, but like genuinely, like joking aside.
No.
Right, well, I'm handing the baton over to you, Will.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, happy?
Yeah, go time, yeah.
He's got a long drive ahead of him, about 6 or 7 hours probably with the crush on the back.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a long way. But I want to say thank you to Will for coming up and collecting it. I'm really glad that Fen sent in his video, otherwise he wouldn't be going home with this today. So yeah, I said to Will the other day and to Mrs. HGP that giving this away is like class. It's really cool just to help anyone at all, and probably in the future I want to give away more crushes, to be honest, if I can. So watch this space. Right, we'll catch you later folks, bye bye. Right, that is us. That was the Hoof GP and Will Farrant. Well, if people want to follow you on social media, how do they do that?
So my page on Facebook and Instagram is WJF Hoof Care.
And if people want you to come and trim for them because they've seen you trimming in this video and you're clearly very capable, how do they do that? Where do you cover? Are you looking for new customers, or do you want me to shut up?
Yeah, so I'm looking for new customers. I cover quite a range of areas: Herefordshire, Gloucestershire, Monmouthshire, Somerset, Devon, anywhere around there, just let me know.
Sweet, that really is all from us right now. This has been the Hoof GP and Will Farrant on a great episode of the Hoof GP. Thank you very much for watching folks. We'll catch you on the next one, which will be very soon.